Welcome back to another episode of Who Am I to Judge podcast. I'm Alexis.
And I am Samantha. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. How are you?
Oh, sorry.
It was very dramatic.
A loaded question. No, I just had to cough. I'm sorry. It's a loaded question these days, but I'm like generally I'm tired and I am just today I went to bed late yesterday, so I've been kind of tired and I didn't eat a lot, so like I just ate dinner before talking, and so now I have a little bit of life back in me. But when you called me earlier, I was like, I don't care, bye. Like, whatever. I was literally on zero. My
girl, you should have ate then.
I know, but whatever. I'm just over. I'm just over having to feed my body every day.
Girl, that's the one thing I'm gonna do is eat. What did I do today? I mean, it was a work day, so worked, walked the dogs, went to my workout class. Courtney is here, so it's been fun to hang out with her. She had her interview today, and now I'm chilling with the Mells.
I'm jealous. I want to be in New York with you guys playing Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I know. And I got like the updated Roller Coaster Tycoon now.
Yeah, you gotta just rubbing in it.
Literally.
No, I'm gonna be coming back soon.
You should, but yeah, it was fun yesterday. We went to my favorite restaurant, which is this Korean place called Kun, and we, were able to catch up. And Mello and Tonks are obsessed with her, so it's been like, get off of her.
I don't know,
but yeah, it's been good.
People.
But I got a lot to say about who's on trial today, honey.
And before we get into that, I just want to remind the people that we have a Patreon, and we just dropped an episode last night, which you guys don't want to miss. We are talking about, it's our Beyhive Buzz podcast.
Beyhive Buzz, so all things Beyonce.
Yes, and there's some exclusive tea that we drop. So if you're a real Beyhiver and you want to know what's going on in the Beyonce universe, go on over to our Patreon. The link is in our bio. Anyways, Alexis, please
let's
let us know.
Get to it.
Oh my god, I forgot. Did you do that last week? I'm like, have you not done that in a while?
No, I have.
Okay,
I believe I have.
I just feel like I'm on a million different timelines.
Girl, you're like not on this planet right now.
Exactly.
You're on Earth.
I'm overwhelmed with information. But anyways, Alexis, tell us who's on trial this week.
This week, Tabitha Brown is on trial. Okay.
I just listened to her video, but anyway.
So people who don't know, Tabitha Brown was a YouTuber.
She is a YouTuber,
but now she has like a series.
Right.
Okay. She started
on Facebook.
She started on Facebook, but now she's like turned into a brand. Like she's a series. She has like seasoning. She has like cooking things. She has. So it's like she's bigger than what she kind of started out as. She's vegan. She's very funny.
Yeah, fun loving,
beautiful.
Yes,
and,
has a beautiful daughter. We love Choice.
Yeah, Choice or Chase?
It's Choice.
Choice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just have like a beautiful family, and we've been like happy to see Tabitha succeed. She was like,
absolutely,
she's an actress. She was on The Shy, and like we've just been seeing her
and
her
like
growth over the years.
What I will say too is I feel like this is more so like. I'm curious if white people know who Tabitha Brown is. I feel like Julia definitely knows, but I'm like, I wonder if like she's crossed over. That's like something I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as you know, like Trump
especially
has like
she's vegan. Sorry.
Yes. So Trump has rolled back, different funding and initiatives for DEI, and so
lots of corporations are following suit.
Lots of corporations are following suit.
Following in line.
One of them being Target, and so there's been this mass call to all Black people to stop shopping at Target. So of course we're like, bet, got you. However, then Tabitha Brown Mind you, as we said, she sells different things, and a lot of her things are sold at
she
Target.
has a large Target partnership.
She made a video basically being like, I understand that like Black people don't want to shop at Target anymore and you're boycotting. However, there are Black brands there that will get hurt. So I feel like you should shop at Target, but just buy the Black brand things from there.
And she did
So
say like, do whatever you got to do. Like,
yeah,
I'm not telling what to do, but
she
she
said
did.
she understood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she understands like whatever choice you make, but she did encourage. Like, she
encouraged.
She also said like, we got to play the game and we got to be smart and all that stuff. So
then of course there's been like a big backlash on Black TikTok of just like, is she wrong or is she right? So I'm curious, just like your initial thoughts.
I mean, it's been very interesting because, like, for one, my mom told me that Tabitha Brown like put out her statement because my mom like loves Tabitha Brown. Like, she was a fan from the beginning. Like, she really, just loved her and supports her, whatever. And she was like, Tabitha Brown put out a video.
That's hilarious.
And it's just like, so that was like who I got it from first, and it was like, she's like, I don't know, like what we're supposed to do. like it did add like some confusion into like the mix for some people, which it's like, okay, so should we just like, can I buy my honey pot from Target? And then obviously as the days go on, it's like you start to hear all these different takes, and it's just like, yeah, the bottom line is like, we have to make Target really feel it. Our dollars are so powerful. So yeah, if we go up in there and buy all the Black owned brands in February, that's a win for them. Like, that's a win. And us, like, that is a small sacrifice, I would say, to make a big difference. Like, if we boycotted and obviously now we have to, we see that they have no real interest in equity and inclusion and diversity. I like did that all back. It's okay. I love myself. But yeah, like, it's obvious that they don't have that in mind, or care about it really. Like, it's all very reactionary to backlash and all of that. And so I just feel like, yeah, the only way, I definitely have like started to see more so of the side is just like, no, like, we cannot spend any money there, like, because they win regardless, like they win if we spend any money there, regardless of if it's Black owned or not. So
I agree. Like, I immediately,
immediate thoughts.
It was like, she's dead wrong, because it's just like, I just feel like
it's
this,
very
like, you can't privilege your own capital off of like over the community's capital and the community's advancement. And well, I just have two thoughts. That's one of them. It's like, for example, throughout history, as I always say, there's been many boycotts by Black people, one of them being the most famous, the Montgomery bus boycott. And literally, there are people, there were mothers with children, pregnant people, like people with disabilities,
like, that
all of them still like all of them still getting rides or walking, carpooling or walking. And it's just like, they weren't like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna get on the bus, I don't care. It's like, and I say that to say, even if, like, unfortunately there's inconveniences to it, and there's also collateral damage to it. And I feel like that's exactly with this. It's like, yes, it sucks that you will be affected by, not, no one, Black people not buying your products anymore because they're in Target, but the greater good should be the like main mission for you, Tabitha. It shouldn't just be that you lining your pockets. And the second thing I wanted to say is that I think it's very tone deaf, because I consider Tabitha Brown at this point has made it. I'm not saying she's like a billionaire, but I'm saying she's made millions of dollars, and she probably has investments that make her millions of dollars as well. So it's just like, for her to like be acting as though this is going to kill her, this is going to like, you know, make it so that
Make
she's
or
like,
break.
you know, make or break her, is also just disingenuous and tone deaf when you're asking people who are have way less money than you to spend money on your products to make you richer as
Right.
already a rich person. So I
Right.
was just kind of like, this is also very tone deaf. And so at the end of the day, I was like, Tabitha, you missed the mark on this one. It's also like that thing that we always talk about where it's just like the more money you make, the more stingy and greedy you are, and also just the more out of touch you become. Because I'm like, it's not, Tabitha Brown is still at the point where the majority of her life was not as a millionaire, but even these last couple, like, you know, maybe even if it's 10 years of her being a millionaire, has like warped her thinking into thinking that like we should still give Target money. Like it made no sense.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do feel like somebody in the comments were like, respectfully, Tabitha, like your products are on the shelves in Target, and like so you're just coming from a different place,
Right,
and
you're coming from a different place.
like you said, there is going to be collateral damage. I'm sure the Montgomery boycotts,
There was
like,
probably pregnant people who wish they could have went on the
I
fucking
mean,
bus,
but
but they
even
had to
like
find a car or
even
they had to
hitting the
walk.
pockets, it's like there's
Right.
probably a bus driver that like got let
Exactly.
go of, and it's just like, damn,
Exactly.
the culture's doing this right now, so I kind of
Exactly.
have to whatever. And I do feel like I wish that, you know, and I agree. I think like with more success, more just doing business, more, you know, like once you start doing business with Target, it's like, okay, you are really in
You've
it.
made it.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like
I would
you
say you've
are,
made it.
yes, and like you are, yeah, like you said, you made it. And so I feel like you are, that's the insidious part of capitalism where it's like, you know, you start to think, you're thinking about the bottom line too. Like, you know what y'all got to hit, you know what's on the shelves, you know the
And that
process.
will come. And that's why I'm just like, damn, Tabitha, you would have been, you know, this is a bad word to some people, but it's like, you would have been a fucking coon. You would have been on the bus, okay? You would have been on the bus riding with your, like, in the hot summer day in Alabama while everybody else is walking, looking at you like, the fuck?
And
It's embarrassing.
I think
And,
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, like, also, it's just like, that's why I'm just like, I really just don't believe that like being a black billionaire or black multimillionaire, you know, whatever, is good, because at the end of the day, these ideals these black people have are the same shit that the white people do have, right? Which is like, well, still spend your money at the big corporation, still give your money to the man, and then it's like this money never trickles down. It's like Tabitha Brown's gonna keep this fucking money to herself that we buy. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna come down to me. And that's why I'm just like, it doesn't matter who has the seat at the fucking table when the table's corrupt, right? And I always say that. And I just feel like Tabitha is like showing that in an example. And I'm not saying she's a bad person, but I'm just saying her values have clearly changed. Because I'm sure prior to her shit being on the shelves at Target, she would have gladly not given money to Target.
Yeah, and like I said, like you said, as you start to like play this game, like she said, when you start to play the game, like I just feel like your bottom lines change. Like you really get in bed with this conglomerate, so you're like having to do kind of the dirty work for them in a way of just like, you know. And I just feel like what was I gonna say?
Mellow, stop.
It's just like, hold on, it'll come back to me. But yeah, I just think I also feel like because, you know, it's 2025, and I feel like come here, Mom. I feel like it's 2025, and I feel like you know, like I feel like sometimes people have a hard time seeing us where we are now as like back then, you know, like because we're so used to everything being so cushy, we're just like, you know, we don't think it's as dire as when, you know, we literally have like segregated buses, or like,
Mm-hmm.
it's very in your face. Like it is now, but obviously because we are literally, going back to like, we're going back.
It's in your face for sure, but I just feel like now it's just more disgusting because we've like it's in a more like buttoned up way, right? Before it's like there was literally like dogs and hoses going on. There was literally a separate water fountain. Nowadays we can drink at the same water fountain, but it's like secretly the person funding the water in Flint, but secretly in Flint, Michigan, they're poisoning the water, right? While in like another place they're doing fine, but you can still drink out the water. It's just like different. It's just, but I just feel like it's just shame on Tabitha because it's just like you should decenter yourself in this moment and understand that I might take a financial hit, but the greater message it sends is that more people like me, entrepreneurs like me will end up in stores like this in the future rather than sabotaging the whole mission just because you want to make money this year.
Right. And that's what I'm saying too. Yeah. Because it's like, if we really hit them in their pocket, whether or not they really want to do DEI stuff or whether they get such a financial hit that they're like, oh shit, like, okay, we're going to add that back. Like, what do you think about that? Like, do you think that is like playing the game? Like, okay, making room for people in the future?
No, what I would hope is that they take a financial hit. They say, fine, we're bringing back all the DEI shit on the shelves. People still don't fuck with Target. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, Target, you lost. You showed your ass. But this is my thing, too. It's also disingenuous because I'm like, Tabitha Brown, you're telling me you don't have a website where I can directly order your products? Like, at this point, I'm like...
I think that Target produces.
Okay, so that's something she should think about. Like, this is like now a learning moment for Tabitha of like how to maybe. And there's also other, like, Costco's doing the right thing. There's so many other places where it's like, this is maybe a learning moment, a place where you pivot. But to just ask.
To put it on us is a little bit.
I'm just really disgusted when rich people ask for people that have less money than them's money for something, especially when it's a bad cause. Like, it's just like, you're asking people who are less rich than you to buy your products when you're already rich, and you're acting like you're going to be hurt by that. Like, it's just, to me, like, really disgusting.
I just feel like because I heard a statement made by the owner of Lip Bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's in Target.
Yes. And like, I feel like
Black-owned brand.
Yes, Black-owned brand, Lip Bar. I just feel like
what did she say?
She talked about it. Like, she definitely, like, she made it known that just like, yeah, like, this, like, does suck. She didn't really implore, like, kind of how I think Tabitha really muddied the water in terms of like, okay, you sent this message. You have really loyal fans that support you, and you kind of fucked up the mission in terms of like some people from that video were like, okay, like, I can buy Black-owned brands. Like, they aren't taking it a step further, and like, they're not on TikTok or whatever. Or, just have other critical thoughts happening. They're just like, I trust Tabitha Brown, like, I think whatever. So I guess
I think Tabitha should issue an apology and be like, you know what, I totally get it. I understand that I might take a financial hit. However, I'm in a very privileged position where like even this financial hit won't put me underwater, and I'm thankful for that. Save your coins and like let's shop
and
at
even if it does, we're all in the same boat.
But but I hope that she understands her privilege. I feel like that's the part that just annoys me the most, because I'm like, we're literally hearing from someone who has her own series, brands in Target, probably gets like brand deals that are worth like $50K every other day. Like, it's just like to me, that's the part that's just disgusting about it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that,
like, she's an influencer. She can literally make like 100K in a week, probably.
Yeah,
like, why are you?
I agree. I just think that I guess I just feel like I want to give her the benefit of the doubt to just be like you said, like, put out an apology. Maybe you put out that video and you were just like thinking about yourself and admit it.
Like, I was thinking about myself.
Yeah, and the other Black-owned businesses that are in there. You know, like, because, like, I will say that. Like, I
Cop
don't.
out.
I
I don't
said,
believe she was thinking about them. I think she was saying that because she knew it would be even more cancelable to only put out herself. But let's be fucking real here. She was very concerned with her coins. Yes, she can name other people's, but the number one in her head was hers.
About their coins too. Whatever. I think that I don't think that it was fully thought out to the point where she, like, you know, it's just like, okay, well, these people, they have businesses in Target, and yes, we don't want them to crumble. We don't want them to, like, not exist anymore, but this is not the moment or the method. Like, we need to go back to the drawing board because this is doing more harm than good to, like, our community. And I do think that I get, like, the tough love or whatever, but I do feel like we have to, like, if people are willing to learn from them, like, if Tabitha Brown was to, like, put out an apology or whatever, because I don't really know what she's done since then, but, like, if she was to do that, I feel like we should be able to.
I think. What do you think? How do you think she will respond? I think she's gonna put out a statement. I think she's gonna double down. I think she's gonna be like, you know, I understand your feedback. Thank you so much. But at the end of the day, like, this will affect, I think it'll be something like that. This will affect Black brands. And I want y'all to be mindful of that, you know, because I understand that there's, like, some Black bands that are going to go underwater off of this. I think she's going to double down. I don't think she's going to apologize.
I mean, I don't know.
That's just my prediction. What's your prediction?
I feel like I honestly feel like she might not put out a statement and, like, not apologize and just kind of keep on
just not acknowledge
going.
It.
Yeah, which I don't think that's the best move either. But I'm just gonna see how things go. But I do feel, like, kind of weird, like the hate train of Tabitha. I'm like, maybe I missed something, but, like, people are like acting like Tabitha Brown was, like, canceled for something else before. Do you know of anything
cancelable?
That she was, like, canceled before?
I have been hearing that,
her?
Well, I've been hearing, like, one, people don't really fuck with the fact that her husband was a former cop, and then apparently she made some weird statements about Black Lives Matter, and people were kind of like, we didn't forget that, and I think it might be in relation to her husband being a cop, and you know how, like, there was, like, a whole, like, thing about they're mistreating the cops and things. So I know that, like, she had a weird statement about it, and so I know that those are reasons why people don't really fuck with her.
Interesting. I am like, ew. Oh my God, 1 week ago, I just went on Tabitha Brown's page. And I don't even want to be like that because I do really like Tabitha Brown. Like,
I think she's funny. I think she's beautiful.
Yeah, I thought she was just, like, a beautiful Black family. I know people, like, from what I've seen online, like, people are like, she, you know, might have some of those, like, traditional family values.
Oh, absolutely. I was literally, like, when Choice had a girlfriend, I was literally like, how the fuck is Tabitha feeling about this? Because I absolutely feel like Tabitha is, like, a traditional Christian woman.
I think
she's fine about it.
I never got that she was, like, I mean, maybe growing, like, I feel like maybe, I don't know. I never got that, like, she would feel weird about, like, her daughter or, like, her kids. But I feel like in terms of her marriage and, like, you know, just, like, maybe what she's gone through in her marriage. But anyways, what I will say that was kind of funny and, like,
and we love talking about people's marriages. For two people who aren't married, we sure love talking about people's marriages. Like, we know something.
I know, we don't know anything. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. On Tabitha Brown's Instagram, Target put, this was a week ago on January 17th. They were like, Auntie Tab always delivers. And I'm just like,
so disingenuous.
And I'm just like, don't be calling her auntie.
Right, take that shit off.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh. Keep going.
But yeah, I think that I do think that people get a little jaded. Obviously, I think people are not as radical when their pockets are going to get hit, and I do think that that is not, that's not morally how I hope that I would be, or I do feel like I am like, okay, at the end of the day, it's not just about me.
Didn't
It's
I
just
tell you? Mark my words. I say this all the time on this podcast since it's been 2025. I really do think 2025 is going to be the year that we're reckoning with capitalism. It started with Luigi. It also, and then we see it with like Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce getting like really called out for being a capitalist. We're now seeing Tabitha Brown sitting here like, sorry, before that we saw Snoop, Rick Ross, people putting money, Nelly getting money before like their values and like standing up for the black community. We now see literally someone being like, shop at Target, even though Target doesn't fuck with black people. And so that's why I'm just like, this is the year where like I feel like it's a reckoning with capitalism, and it's like the public is getting awakened to this, like, and so I'm just like, I'm just so curious how the rest of 2025 will flow, because it's like this is yet again another example of like a black person who's literally like, I care more about my coins than anything else.
It's gonna be rampant. I'm watching this documentary about like the Cold War, and it's like in the 1930s, like in the Great Depression and stuff. Yeah, it was just like people are going to be very anti-capitalist because we are feeling it.
You want to hear something funny, but this is random.
What?
Okay, so maybe like 2-3 months ago, there was this woman who came into Crunch, and she was beautiful, black woman, and I remember thinking like, she looks so familiar, but I was like, I can't put my finger on it, but like, she's definitely an actress. Like, I've seen her before.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in there hooting and hollering like, ah, like, come on, guys. And I was just like, okay. Like, I just don't like when people do that. She
wasn't the teacher?
No. She was literally taking the class doing that. So I was just like, oh my gosh. And so earlier this week, not earlier this week, maybe it must have been Monday then. Yeah. So yesterday, the same girl came to the class, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, in my mind, I was like, oh, like, I remember her. And I was like, again, she looks so fucking familiar. And so I was like, so we were doing the class, and they were playing a song I really liked. I could not, so I was like ready to sing it and ready to rap it. I think it was It's Given Hair Face, it's
hilarious.
And
ready to pop it.
Yeah, like I was ready to go in, and the girl, I couldn't hear anything of the fucking song because the girl was like, come on guys, 5 seconds, don't give up, you got this, it's a Monday, and it was like 30 seconds of going on like this, and I literally at one point I literally look at the instructor like talk to this girl, tell her to shut up, like this is crazy. So at the end of this class, I was like, oh, I know where I know her from, and you know who she is. This is a deep cut, you probably don't remember this, but like I do, because I remember this girl being like distinctly beautiful to me when I saw her in the movie. She is from Medea's Family Reunion. I'll show you the picture of her.
No, tell me
I don't know her name, but like
describe the character.
I think she was the sister. I think she was
that, like don't like he whatever she says. Yeah.
So I was like, let me just make sure it's her. I was like, let me.
That is not true.
Yes, it is true, and you're gonna tell her. You're gonna tell her.
So her name is Vanessa. No, sorry, her name is Lisa Arundel.
Oh my god.
I was like, well, let me make sure this is her. So I looked up her Wikipedia. She's from New York City. She's from the Bronx. She lives in Brooklyn. And then one of the pictures on Google of her is her at fucking Crunch, the literal Crunch Crunch fitness center that we go to. And I was like, this is so funny. She's up in here hooting and
that?
No, she just like takes classes there. But I'm like, it's hilarious. She's up in there hooting and hollering the whole fucking class, and it's her. And I was like, next time I see her, I'll be like, I love you. Like, I loved you in Medea's Reunion.
Okay, and for the listeners that you didn't see the picture, it's Lisa Arundel, the one that was like talking in a deep voice.
But I'm like, literally, Samantha, it went on for 30 full seconds where she just kept screaming to the point where I looked at the instructor like,
why are you in situations?
I don't know.
Like
I'm always in situations like this. It's so funny.
I would maybe pay somebody like be a fly on the wall so that I could just laugh, get a good laugh, because I can just see your face.
Girl, it was crazy. But let's move on.
Yes, I'm gonna, you know what? I texted you about what I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead,
earlier
tell
this
me.
week. I want to put on trial our third grade motherfucking teacher,
Oh my God, yeah.
Miss Bird, and it's actually funny because Valentine's Day is coming up, and like she fucking traumatized Valentine's Day for me. And I texted Alexis. Are you okay to talk about that, Alexis?
Yes, well, let's just give some context. Me and Samantha met in the third grade
Yes.
when I came to the new school she was at, and our
Courtney
teacher,
was
Courtney, was there too,
second
and this is where
grade.
we all met. Well, sorry, this is where we all three became like us three.
But Courtney was was Courtney in my class?
She was in Miss Bird's class, I believe. No,
Okay.
No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. Well, maybe she was.
I'm like, because I feel like fourth grade she was in Miss Connolly.
I think she was in Miss Bird's.
Ask her right now.
Courtney, were you in Miss Bird's third grade class?
I think so.
She says she thinks so. Okay, so
I don't remember.
She was our third grade third grade teacher. Okay, so go ahead.
She was our third grade teacher, and I was talking to Danielle this weekend, and I was just telling her how I don't know, like I was just like a sensitive child, and somehow I started talking about our second grade teacher and how oh yeah, like I remember I brought our friend Martin that like VHS to second grade, and I was just very much like, oh, like I must have been like, I want to bring this to school, like, you know,
right? Because you thought they were gonna play it, like
we watched it, like,
oh wow, I'm shocked.
Like I think the other classes watched it too, but I was like, they need to see this, like this is like a good movie, whatever. And so, and then there was just like other things, like I remember I like brought a pillow to school, so like that because the seats were really hard. Like my mom was like, okay, well, you should just bring a pillow to school, whatever. So I was just like, oh my God, like I was really advocating for myself in the second grade. I feel like I was a little bit more confident. Miss Polk was just like a sweet teacher and supportive and stuff. And I'm just like, that really makes a difference. And then comes third grade, and I'm just like, oh shit, like that is really when I feel like lost a lot of confidence. I feel like that was like one of the first times like I felt anxiety because Miss Bird was just I was getting notes home sent all the time, and I never, you know, we were not bad kids. You know what I mean? Like,
trust me, after teaching, we were
we were angels.
Yeah, angels compared to what people be acting like. Yeah.
It was just like I remember getting notes home about like, you know, like a home, like something with homework, and then I was like, I don't want to. I was like so scared to like forget an assignment, and my mom was like, just bring home all your books, like just bring home all your books. And I'm just like, from that time on, I feel like I was just so like different in school, and I was just really realized like how much a teacher can affect you, you know, like can really.
You were different in school, but did it affect you as like a person or just in school?
I would say it really traumatized me. Like, for one, you can tell them about the Valentine's Day story where like I got in trouble and you didn't because we were talking. But like, just I feel like just like with anxiety, with like, you know, not being as confident in my schooling, which went through other, you know, like through the rest of my life, really. And it's just like, I don't feel like I ever since then like advocated for myself of like bringing a freaking pillow to school because my, like, you know, with my butt hurt with the chairs and stuff. So I just really, and you're a teacher, like I'm curious, like what you're like, if you even think about Miss Word anymore.
No, I haven't thought about her since third grade. But
Not since third grade, girl, because we definitely have talked
if you
about
bring
that.
it up, but it's like I feel like there's more like there's more teachers in my mind. If someone said name a teacher,
So,
she
like
would not.
a negative influence.
I feel like there's other ones I would have said, but
Who? I want to know.
well, but it's not that they're negative in the sense that like consistently. Miss Bird was negative consistently, but I feel like there's been more. I've had like, you know, negative more sporadically, but it's more severe, and I'm like, oh, you're like fucked up. But I mean, I do
was
think
racist.
Oh, I'm sure she was. I wouldn't put it past her at all.
And I feel like she kind of had a target on me.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is the thing. Like as after being a teacher, I'm like, yeah, teachers are human. Like teachers make mistakes. Teachers bring obviously bring their own biases. Teachers have students they like. Teachers have students they don't like. The thing is that you like try to be a professional and still do your job, right? But it's very hard sometimes. And so I say that to say,
So
I wouldn't
feel bad for Miss Bird.
No, I don't feel bad for her. I wouldn't be surprised if all of those things I'm not even saying I wouldn't be surprised. All of those things you're saying are true. She probably was racist. She probably did have a target on your back. All of those things are true because it's like she was human, so she was absolutely capable of doing all of those things. I also just like I would love to have known her age at the time because I remember her being gray. And so I'm like, was she like in her 50s, you think?
She was probably in her 50s because her son was in Danielle's class.
Which was what, in the 5th grade?
We were in the 3rd grade.
Sorry, it was the 6th grade.
She was in 6th grade. Yeah.
I don't know if someone is that normal? Like being in your 50s with a 6th grader? I feel like that's like.
I think so. She might have just had kids later.
I just think that she was very. I don't like. I feel like I've blacked out so much of her, but it's interesting thinking about like discipline because I don't think I've ever sent a single note home. It's like if I needed to like talk to a parent, I'm picking up my cell phone right in the fucking moment and calling. But I guess this is like pre-cell phones maybe. Yeah. Or if cell phones were around, it was just that like you weren't going to use it to call a parent. But it's just like, yes, I'm like, even just the thought of sending a note home, I'm like, oh, they really trusted us because if I sent a note home to my kids in Milwaukee, they would have thrown that in the trash the moment they walked out the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't have even been a situation, and then they would have lied to me. They'd been like, "Oh, like I left it at home," you know, or like, you know,
I wonder if they must have handed it to her. I don't remember.
No, I feel like they didn't. I feel like they put it in your folder, and we were just good kids. Like that's what I'm saying. Like we actually like gave the note over, and like I feel like I just can't imagine any one of my students doing that in Milwaukee, and. Unless I wrote it like on their like homework sheet, and that would it's just funny like thinking about like how good we were because I'm like most kids would have been like psych, like throw that piece of paper in the fucking trash and walked out.
I'm just like thinking about like that Valentine's Day really fucked me up because we were just like talking. You know?
Yeah, talking's
like,
really not that bad.
And, like I think she was like. We were like standing up. Like she was like, if anybody else stands up, like you're gonna get in trouble. And
She's
were
terrible
like,
classroom management.
And then she like told us to go like out in the hall or something. And I was literally devastated. Like I know Miss Bird probably thought I was like getting like
this woman is crazy.
I was like distraught, like sobbing, like please don't call my parents. And you literally could care less. And she called my parents.
I probably cared. I'm just not quick to cry. And so in that moment, I was probably just like, I'm scared, but I'm just like, I'm curious what she's going to say.
I just knew that. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, yeah.
I think that she's just... Yeah, and also just like, and I just think it just really exposes like the difference in like expectations for a private school versus any other type of school. Because let me tell you, the talkers in my class were the worst, like the least of my worries. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, look, that was not even like to me. They were still getting like the gold stars. They were still getting the extra recesses. Like the talkers, it's just like they're usually sweet kids. They just talk. Okay, I can deal with that. The aggression is what I was like more so thinking about, and so it's just like funny to me because I'm just like for that to have been like I literally it's just funny because
for
like
the dumbest thing.
Like literally, I was thinking about that the other day because I remember. one time I like in middle school I got like a call home for the same reason. Like if you get out of your seat, you're getting in trouble. I went to get a tissue, and they were like, go to the office. They called my mother, and my mom said, "What did she do?" And they were like, "She got up and got a tissue." And my mom was like, I remember distinctly. My mom was like, "Do not call me for this again." And like Miss Smolin was like shocked, but it's just like
that is the difference between me and you. My dad was very much like whatever the teacher says, like, you know, like he was not.
My mom is like that too, but
she wasn't giving
crazy.
us the benefit of the doubt at all. Like,
I mean, it's just there's certain things you just shouldn't care about. Like I feel like as a teacher, like I said, I just was not like if somebody was talking on it, I would definitely tell their parent like, "Look, they do not shut up. Like, what is like? How do I get them to be quiet? You know, like they talked my ear off today. You know, I would say something like that, but I feel like the parents would just like laugh, like, "Yeah, I know, you know, whatever." But I would never escalate it to like, you know, like something crazy.
Oh my God.
They would be escalating, but I feel like, you know, I would. Go ahead.
I was just say, I remember once like it was like French class, and we were all like getting in trouble with French class. She sent everybody a note home that day.
Yeah, I just feel like private school teachers
I'm sure most of those kids' parents didn't get like they probably had a regular ass weekend.
I think it's.
So did you probably?
I don't even remember that day.
Yeah,
but I'll say this. I think that private school like teachers just lack, some of them really lack classroom management and relationship building because a lot of them aren't classically trained. You know, you don't have to have a teaching like certificate to do it at like a private school. And I think that's why you see a lot more stronger relationships and like stronger classroom engagement in public schools or charter. Well, I will just say public schools because the teachers have to be fucking licensed because I'm just like, there's no world where just because you're talking and being a little silly. To me, like I said, I care about aggression. Like I've had students literally like go up to my bulletin board, rip the whole thing down, like paper, everything on the ground. I've had students like throwing shit at me, throwing shit at other students, flipping over the table, and just going to each student and tipping over the desk, tipping over the desk, you know? And so it's just like that to me is something that I'm willing to escalate and care about. But I'm like literally innocent kids just being silly and talking.
We
to
were
me,
not bad at
you just
all.
lack relationship building skills and you're just like, you're scared.
Not good with kids.
You're just you don't know what you're doing.
And I'm learning, yes. I've learned that like I have a lot to learn when it comes to kids because like even at work, like when there's like kids, I'm just like, how do I talk to kids so that they get it? And I remember Darren was like telling me it's like you have to like tell them what to do and like not like say like if you don't want them to run, like be like, all right, like let's walk or walking or something versus like don't run, you know? And so I'm like, okay, like that makes sense. But yeah, I just was curious. Like I just had that realization. I'm just like, whoa, like my schooling
teachers can cause a lot of trauma.
Really
it's
changed because I feel like that was when I noticed about the AB groups or whatever. Like that was like when that
is one of the worst things I think that Holy Trinity ever did.
Yes.
But I do think that like, I mean, yes, teachers can have a lot of power and they can cause a lot of trauma or they can like really affirm you and be like life-changing things. That's why it's a really big responsibility and you should not, and people, I think this is one of the reasons why I think people are really critical of TFA because it's just like you have these like unprepared 21-year-olds coming in and just like, and I mean, again, this is someone who did TFA talking about it. You know, some of them can, I'm sure, have destroyed people's lives, you know? And so it's just like teachers have a lot of power. I mean,
do you have any teachers that were like, well,
destroyed my life?
Not destroyed your life, but just like really had
negative impact?
A negative impact. Because I know the ones that have had a positive impact. So I'm just curious.
Negative impact, I would say.
I thought of one that might be fit.
Who?
Mr. Wood.
Yeah, but it wasn't. the impact is not there. I
didn't
guess it's like
last
he
it.
didn't have the range to
Right.
go. Like, you know, he didn't have the range to have the impact on me.
Kind of like just.
I just was like, okay,
you thought he was like a joke.
Yeah, exactly. I just feel like I didn't take it seriously after a while. I was like, okay, you mean nothing to me. But I feel like, and now we're cool. Like now we're cool. Like I told you, I collected data at Holy Trinity. We gave each other a big hug. Like now we're cool. I'm trying to think. I don't think anyone. I think the closest to it would be Miss Margaret, but she wasn't a teacher. But that would be the closest to it, where I was like, you have like impacted my life in a very negative way. You have like now caused like harm for the rest of the years at McNamara, and I actually don't fuck with you. And if I saw her in person, I would literally act like I didn't know her. Right. That is somebody who, and that's someone who I think like is weird. Like that's but and again, she had no business working with kids. She just because you have a kid don't mean you're good with kids. Like
right.
And so I feel like that was, she had no business being with kids. And
I wish I could find Miss Bird, but
me too. But I wonder if she's still alive. That was 30 years ago. If she was in her 50s, she's at 80 something.
She might be alive. I mean, I don't know.
I don't think she was in her 50s.
You know what's really funny, to just tie this all back and then we can end.
What?
I gotta take Jupiter out. I saw that people were like talking about how they like thought Tabitha Brown was like,
oh my god, I saw that. Older. I did too. She's only 41 or something.
Yeah, somebody in the comments were like,
she's less than 10 years older. She's less than 10. Like she's like 9 years. Was that 9? Hold it. We're 32. She's 41.
Is she 41?
Yes, I could have sworn she's 41. Be careful.
Tabitha Brown. She's 45. Her birthday's coming up.
So she's 13 years older than us. Okay, this is the thing. The way she carries herself, and maybe it's the traditional things you're talking about, I thought she was in her late, like 50s, early 50s.
Yeah, early 50s.
And the fact that she's 45 is shocking to me.
Like, I feel like she would be going on 50. Like, she was probably like 52 or 50 or like, but yeah, it was a little shocking. Because like, when we first, because I want to say like 2020, I know we were definitely paying attention to her. She was 40. You know, like when she was first coming on the scene, she was like 39, 40. And it is shocking. Like somebody put like Tia, like the Maori twins are like older than her.
No, they're not. They're not older than 45.
Yes, they are.
The Maori twins?
Let me see. Yep, they're 46.
See, that's crazy because to me they seem younger than Tabitha.
I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but yeah, I
we want better from Tabitha Brown and our teachers, y'all. Okay,
yes.
And so we hope that
we love Black women, and you gotta at this point you really have to, be careful about what you say. You can't. Like, things are serious AF.
And this is the time where it's like, you gotta stand 10 toes down. Sorry, this is like it's just like when the stake, it's not like you don't, this is where you show your cards, right? Like, you don't, like, you don't have to, it's easy to show your cards when the stakes aren't high, right?
Right.
But when the stakes are high, this is when you're supposed to put the fucking card down and be like, I stand for this. And so it's just like, to me, it's like, what are you about? Like, you have been talking about Blackness and DEI shit. This brand. Is your brand. Yeah. So now be about it, Tabitha. If they're taking an action against DEI, this is your whole fucking brand. Put your cards on the table and say, I totally am against this. But I feel like,
or just don't make a video,
or don't make a video saying still shop there. Yeah. So it's just like, be about what you stand for. Like, fuck the money.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe you do still have a scarcity mindset, but you can't. Like, you don't deserve to feel that way, I guess. Like, you can feel that way, but you can't talk to people that are actually living in scarcity. But yeah, and times are, like, people really can't be, like, we honestly really shouldn't be spending money on just anything anyways right now. Like, I feel like Target, it's like fun. It was like fun to go and get random cute stuff, but it's not like necessities. But anyways, Let's wrap it
let's
up.
rack it up.
Rack it up. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Alexis, tell people where they can reach us.
Who am I to judge pod at gmail.com. Who am I to judge pod on all the things.
Yes.
And Patreon,
Yes,
Beyhive Buzz if you're into Beyonce.
Yes.
And until next time.
Yes, we will see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Remember to email us your discussion topics at whoamitojudgepod@gmail.com. Also, remember to subscribe to Who Am I to Judge podcast on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcast. If you love us, please rate us and review. And if you don't, leave us alone. Tell a friend to tell a friend. See y'all next week. Bye, friends.